Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. No, T do this. A voice attracted the attention of everyone in the classroom. I saw everyone looking at a boy at the last table in the 5th row of the classroom with surprise, joking, and malicious eyes. Dragon, sun, sky. A sharp trembling voice made all the students in the class cover their ears, looking at the male teacher on the podium with horror. Long Reach-In was pulled out of his dream by the voice, and he couldn't help but rubbed his eyes and glanced at the classroom. Seeing that his classmates were looking at him with strange eyes, he couldn't help looking at the podium. Okay, Long Reach-In, do you really think you can speak the sky? It's okay to sleep in class, but you still talking in your sleep, it's okay to talk in your sleep, and you say such perverted words, are you being slapped by the sun in your dreams? A roar from the podium rushed into his ears fiercely, and Uniquely looked at him angrily. Father Lawley, whose real name is Li Gonggang, is the head teacher of class 2 of their senior year. He has a bad temper and the students don't like him. But his wife is the vice principal, so no one dares to contradict him at school, except for one person. Can you try it? Long Reach-In took out his ears and said unhurriedly. You dare to contradict, let me go out to the playground for 10 laps, and then call your parents tomorrow. Li Gonggang roared angrily. TSK, sorry, the parents are gone. Long Reach-In shrugged indifferently and said. No one saw the pain deep in his eyes. What do you mean? Li Gonggang asked in confusion. Teacher, Long Reach-In S parents had a car accident a few days ago. A boy sitting in the front row whispered. This. Don T do this next time. It will affect the study of other students. In this way, I will approve you for a half-day vacation. Go out to relax and breathe. Li Gonggang S face softened and looked at him softly. He just came back from vacation, but he didn't expect such a big thing to happen at his student S home, he didn't know yet. Although this student usually does not like to study, he will not cause trouble, not to mention that he is also a father. Thank you, teacher. Long Reach-In stood up, bent slightly at him, and then walked out of the classroom in the eyes of everyone S envy. The reason why he was talking in his sleep in class just now was because he had that dream again. In that dream, he dreamed of being robbed, and it was a robbery. He walked out of class 2 of senior 3 and walked towards the vast playground. He is a 3rd year student of Qintang High School in Qintang Town, Zhangcheng City. He is 1.78 meters tall and is fair. It was 4:30 in the afternoon, and the school was in session time. But at the moment there are still some gym classes on the playground. Boy, come here for me. When Long Reach-In looked at the students running enthusiastically on the playground, a sharp object pressed against his waist. Because it was summer, the sharp feeling could penetrate through thin clothes. Then a pair of big hands pulled his collar and pulled towards the toilet. Boom! In the toilet, the owner of those big hands kicked Long Reach-In on the wet ground, and the sour smell of uric poured into his nostrils. Only then did he see the person who kicked him down. I saw a sturdy young man looking at him fiercely with a knife. Boy, I heard that you are very good, even you dare to touch Xiao S girl. The young man said arrogantly. You mean Mu Shuiying? Hee, if she bumped into me, it counts as a bump, so let S bump it. Long Reach-In stood up slowly from the ground with a sneer on his face, and wiped his hands on the school uniform casually. Mud, did you stand up? When the young man saw him like that, he was furious and kicked out fiercely. Boom! Long Reach-In, who was unprepared, was kicked in the stomach in an instant and hit the door. A huge pain came from his stomach, and a trace of blood overflowed from the corner of his mouth. Boy, Don T be so arrogant, this time Zhao Xiao just asked me to tell, next time it 1/T be so simple, understand. The young man tugged at his hair, the sharp blade patted his face, and said with a sneer. Then, with a strong hand, he slammed Long Richen/S head against the door. Boom. Then the young man walked out of the toilet without looking at it. Cough cough. Long Richen shook his dizzy head, stood up slowly while covering his stomach, and gently wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth with his hand. Then he took out his mobile phone from his trouser pocket and looked at the screensaver of the family portrait. His bright eyes were covered with a mist of water. Mom and Dad, are you okay down there? Long Richen/S slender fingers gently brushed the screen with water stains, and his thin lips spit out this sentence gently, with a little choking. Ding! Do you miss the person you want to see? As long as 10 merit points, they can appear in front of you immediately. The phone vibrated for a while, and a sentence appeared on the screen, covering the family portrait. Long Richen frowned, and then wanted to turn it off. But no matter how he pressed it, the words were still on the screen, and there was still a flash of light. Looking at the shining words, he couldn't help feeling agitated, and the more he thought about it, the more angry he became. Boom! He raised his right hand suddenly and slammed the phone to the ground. Ding. Attempts to damage the system binds itself, and the host will be fined. Binding succeeded. In view of the limited personal ability of the host, the system autonomously activates the installment repayment mechanism. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.